After Torah spends 3 Parshias discussing the life of Avraham, Lech Lecha, Vayera, Chayesara, and all the stories of his life, Torah spends less than 1 Parsha discussing Yitzchak. Primarily this Parsha, Toldos, speaks about Yitzchak, and right away, towards the end of this Parsha already, starts going to the life of his sons, Yaakov and Esav. So, regarding the profiling, so to say, of Yitzchak, what he represented, his service of God, we see a big difference between him and Avraham. Avraham, it says in Kabbalah and Chassidus, represented love of Hashem. Someone that had a tremendous love of Hashem and was just looking to spread his message through chesed, through hosting guests, and through really spreading the word of Hashem to create an entire following, a huge following, that believed in the one God. Yitzchak represented fear of God. Someone that is not externally engaging people as much. He's internal, intense, and subsumed in fear and awe of Hashem. Perhaps that's why there's not so many stories about him, because he was more of an internal person. Now, what's funny about this is that what does Yitzchak's name mean? Yitzchak's name means laughter. So laughter, we would think, is more befitting to be in the midah and the emotion of Avraham, which is love. Love and laughter and joy seem to come together. Why are we saying Yitzchak, who represented intensity, severity maybe, and fear? What did that have to do with laughter and joy? Also, the only one of these parshias, the only one of these aves that has a parsha that's called Toldos, which means children, is Yitzchak. And again, we'd imagine that which one, between Avram and Yitzchak, which one seems more of a successful means of educating our children and affecting our children and affecting people around us? Which one creates better Toldos? Seemingly Avraham, who engages kindly with people around him and spreads the good word. Yitzchak, again, was more internal. And that doesn't seem to be a way of engaging Toldos. So why is his parsha specifically called Toldos, children? Now, the answer to this is, and the explanation is, that fear is actually not only a clash to joy and educating, but fear is a very necessary ingredient. When we explain it properly, fear is a necessary ingredient to joy, and fear is a necessary ingredient to education. Why? What is joy? Joy is when my soul, my vibrant divine spark shines through me. The divine spark of life, of the soul of the world, just shines through me seamlessly without me having any of my expectations get in the way, and for me to gratefully accept what Hashem has given me. That's what joy is. The most necessary ingredient for joy is gratitude, and the biggest impediment and blockage of joy is entitlement. When I feel entitled to things, then I can't be joyous about it, because I think I deserve this already. Why would I be joyous about it? This is just right, and this is what it's expected. And if things don't go my way, I fall apart. I expected otherwise. Gratitude and being able to take what life gives me gracefully is the most important ingredient of joy. This is specifically what fear brings over love. Fear and awe of Hashem is our ability to challenge our own ego. Maybe I don't deserve so much. Notice how small I am relative to such a big God, and how he engages me and gives me in life, even though I might not be so deserving. For that, Yira brings us to Bittul, which allows us to feel grateful and joyous. So specifically Yitzchak, who represents fear of God and self-nullification or humility, is actually the biggest keli to feel real, abundant simcha and happiness and laughter. There's a common misconception that Bittul means to feel small. Bittul doesn't mean to feel small. Bittul means to feel small in presence of such a big, great life and a big, great God. It means being able to see myself the way God sees me, and to get out of my own small, self-centered way of seeing life, and to see life through the prism, through the lenses of Hashem. So Yira doesn't mean fear which clashes with joy. Yira actually means the fear and the humility to actually finally appreciate life and to feel real joy. This is also true regarding education. True effective education needs also to have Yira over Ava. Educating people, be it students, be it your children, does not mean to engage them where they're at and to try to get a message across to them. That's the beginning, and that's very important in Chinoch. But the ultimate goal of Chinuch is that you want to bring them up to your level and to stand for what you stand for, not just to give them good messaging to where they're at. You want to bring them up to a higher level, to the level of the mashpia, to the level of the giver. Not just for them to remain receivers, to be moved a little bit, but you want them to become totally up to the level of the giver and the educator. How do you do that? Now, if you see, children don't necessarily follow what their parents preach. Children follow what their parents sacrifice for. If my parents sacrifice for something, that shows me that it's very important. So, again, Yira represents sacrificing. It represents putting myself to the side in awe and trepidation of the God that I stand in front of. Ava, or Avram's Midah, which is Ava, represents inspiration. And I could give my children inspiration from today to tomorrow, and it could be very, very effective. But what's ultimately going to make them value what I value? And find important what I find important. For that, they can't hear my inspiring words. They have to see, what do you, the parents, sacrifice for? And if I see that you sacrifice for it, you have the midah of Yitzchak, that's what creates the ultimate Toldos. So somehow, counterintuitively, one of the most important ingredients in both joy and in parenting or educating is to be able to have a healthy dose of fear of Hashem. Have real bittul. As the saying goes, bittul doesn't mean thinking less about yourself. Bittul means thinking about yourself less. When we're able to step out of our ego, we could begin feeling joy. And when we could really put ourselves in check and go against our comfort zone, that is the most impactful thing that we could show to our children and to our students. Have a great Shabbos.